YouTube fans? Today is Friday. I'm back in the truck again. Just finished my inspection that I had for today. Just wanted to do a quick update about what has happened since Wednesday. Alright, last time I spoke with you about a couple emails that I had received. Again, I do apologize. I have you in the camera mount thing, so it's a little bit shaky as I'm driving. But the emails, I did contact, like I said, that one applicant to see if he still wanted to participate in the development of the company, even though I'm still in the funding stages and everything. I have not heard back, which is fine. You know, I'll just put more effort into finding other applicants that may be interested. Yesterday, I celebrated my 28th birthday, so I'm getting older. All the more reason to try and accomplish this business and get it going. At least that's my own personal goal. So yesterday I had received an email, and it was one of those type of scenarios where it's like you see the situation or the subject line of something and you don't fully read it, but then you kind of think about it and brush it off until you actually go and check it. So I had seen the subject line on my phone, and it had said something along the lines of application for investment. Well, turns out the application I had sent in for this one investment, it was denied. Now, as you'll probably read if you follow my blog that I type as well, today's subject was about setbacks. So what happens sometimes is you get a setback and you'll become distraught, depressed, or whatever, and you don't want to keep doing what you're doing because maybe perhaps you've had multiple failures, multiple setbacks, multiple anythings that just make you kind of like, forget it, you know, I don't want to do this anymore. Well, I've had a few setbacks along the way just so far. This one, yeah, it kind of hit me. You know, I was like, well, that sucks. Oh well, because I thought I put a decent amount of effort, but it wasn't so much the effort that I put into it. The denial was because of the type of industry that I am trying to approach with my software and who it's going to be used by and the target market and everything. So basically, they don't believe that it would be a billion-dollar business, or it's not the right type of technology that they are looking to invest in, which is fine because everybody has their own things that they want to invest in. You know, no problem. That's good. So I just need to find investors that are interested in what I'm doing specifically, in the technologies that I'm trying to apply, and try to go from there and try to, you know, get some investments from those type of people rather than going through somebody else to make something work. So that's fine, not a big deal. So anyways, like I was saying, I wrote my blog kind of about setbacks and everything, but one thing I want to reiterate, which I did also in the blog, is this one quote that I came across while reading the book by Damon John. He is one of the sharks on the Shark Tank TV show. He is the creator and, you know, founder of FUBU clothing, the For Us By Us clothing line, and some of his insights of how he has accomplished what he has and how he looks at business going forward, I enjoy. You know, just from reading the book, I got a deeper level of insight of how he thinks and how he runs his business. So I recommend the book. It's a good book. I got it as an ebook through the library, so, you know, I didn't spend any money on it, and I'm not being paid for this endorsement or anything. I just happen to enjoy the book. So anyways, one of the things that he had mentioned in there, I don't know if he came up with this statistic or is this something that he just came up with or he heard it from somewhere, but I'm applying this quote to him. Now, it's not necessarily his words, I don't know, possibly it is, but basically what it said is that 90% of entrepreneurs who give up end up becoming employed by the 3% of entrepreneurs who never quit. Now think about that for a second. A lot of people out there try to make something happen, try to start a business, try to get something going, and it never works because they hit a roadblock, they get a few setbacks, and they just get irritated and they don't want to keep trying and they just give up and quit. Sometimes they don't develop the idea for whatever they're trying to do, or sometimes they don't do all the research that's necessary to get something accomplished in their business and it ends up failing. Sometimes it's just who they hire, or it's a bunch of different factors. What they end up doing is not try anymore, or not try to get some type of help, or educate themselves on what they need to do so that way the business becomes successful. So what happens with those people is when they quit their small business or whatever type of business they're trying to go and establish, well, they need to make money somehow, right? So obviously they end up going back to work for somebody. The people they go back to work for, what the quote is saying, are the ones that never quit. And that's true. I mean, it goes for the company I currently work for now. The guy who established that company, he never quit. He came up with a different type of idea, and he's doing it all right. And I'm employed through them. Well, technically, I have my own LLCs, and I'm employed through them as an independent contractor, at least for my day-to-day job. So they have a good business model, however, and it works great for them. But what I'm saying is that if you give up and you quit, then you just become one of those people who is constantly going to be employed by somebody else. Now, that's up to you if you choose to quit. That's up to, however you want to go about things. But what I'm basically trying to get at is if you quit and if you give up, you'll constantly just always be in the day-to-day grind, getting taxed, the average of 30% on your income. Some cases it's more, some cases it's less. Just from my experience as independent contractor and in a sense owning my own business for doing what I'm doing now, you do get taxed less in a sense. But that's because you also have things that you're using outright for your business, and you can apply those as deductions. Now, I'm not trying to turn this into advice on taxes or anything by any means, because I'm not an accountant. Go find an accountant and they will gladly share whatever information with you, or you can get a basic idea of Googling it, and that'll help you out there. But what I'm saying is, in reference to like one of the books that I had mentioned on my blog that I write, that's roadtobillions.com. I'll mention that again later. But I had mentioned in one of the first few posts a book that I had read. And again, this is no endorsement, just something that helped change my own mindset about things. It's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Now, I'm sure some of you may have heard of that book. It's been out for, I'm going to guess, about 20 years, close to it. It's been out for a while, maybe less, I'm not sure. I'm probably overestimating, but it's been out for a while. It's a great book, and it doesn't give you a step-by-step, here's what you need to do to become rich or change your life or whatever. It's basically kind of like a story guideline of how the author achieved his education concerning finances. So his financial education, how he developed it, and how he has the mindset that he has now. So it's basically kind of like what the title implies, it's what the rich teach their kids that the poor do not. And that's basically because people aren't educated financially, because it's just not what we're taught. And that can go through a bunch of different little outlets, where it's either the education system or your family or whatever. But it's basically up to us to become financially educated. But what the book also says, it kind of breaks it down to you can be somebody who's employed, you can be an investor, or you can have your own corporation, or you can get into stocks and whatever. I mean, it kind of gives you an outline of the different things you can pursue. You know, it doesn't tell you exactly, okay, go do this and you'll make money. I mean, there's a bunch of different sources of income, but it's all about finding your source of passive income. And by being able to do that, that's basically income that is the least amount taxed, or in some cases not taxed at all. It just depends where you're at, what the situation and scenario is. But basically, it's finding that source. A lot of people find that by starting their own business. Now, like I just mentioned, if you have your own business, you do get taxed a little less. Not as much as if you were employed. But then there's other things that you have to take into consideration. You have to pay your own health care, your own insurance, your own things of that nature, you know, that normally if you're employed by somebody else, they might cover that. So you just have to remember, if you're going to try and pursue something like that, there's a lot of factors other than to paying less taxes. So all around, in like a full circle, don't let small things set you back. I experienced a small setback. Yeah, it kind of sucks, you know, because I was hoping that maybe something would come of that, but it doesn't matter, because if you throw, like if you think of a fishing kind of reference or whatever, if you throw your first line out and you try to catch a fish, it's not always going to happen the first time. You got to keep trying and wait and, you know, put some effort into it. Or, you know, any other reference that you want to make about anything. If you keep trying and never give up, it's bound to happen, okay? You got to stay focused. Don't worry about the failures that come, because you're going to get over that. Another thing that they say in the whole business world is that if you're going to try and start a business, you have to get used to failing. You have to get used to hearing the word no. What's going to happen a lot when you try to approach people to either be an investor or just sharing your idea with somebody, you know, you're going to get a lot of some backlash. Be like, oh, that sucks, or, you know, your idea is stupid, or whatever you're thinking, it's just not going to work. Who cares what they say? Go out, find the information, see if there's a market for it, do your own research. Don't worry about what other people are saying, you know. Take into consideration what some legitimate concerns might be, not just people who are, in a sense, for lack of a better word, hating on your idea. Go out there and do your own research. Don't give up. Don't let any setbacks cause you to fail, cause you to quit. It's not important, those little small things, okay? You just got to keep your focus. You got to make sure what you're going to do is what you want to do. Make it happen. All right? It's a little bit of inspiration, not only for myself, but hopefully for some other people out there. Today is Friday. That's good. For most of us, it's the end of the work week. For some of us, may have to work Saturday, Sunday. I think I have a couple inspections I got to do on Saturday. But whatever it is, make sure that you have a good day. Have a good weekend. Spend time with your friends, your family. Do something that you love, okay? Focus on your own well-being and the well-being of those people that you care about and love. Surround yourself with happiness. Achieve what you want to achieve. All right. You guys have a good weekend. Enjoy your Friday. I'm going to try and do the same.